Hey everybody, welcome back to Right Man in the Wrong Place. My name is Luke Tatum. I'm so happy that you're here. I react to music. Sometimes we do video game music, sometimes we do just regular old music. Today is going to be some of the latter. We're coming back with some Tom MacDonald. Been very, very, very surprised and pleased with how many people have checked out my other Tom MacDonald reactions already. So, Superman is still right now the #1 video on the channel. So, thank you all so, so much. It's been cool to see all your comments and feedback and all that on him, his music, his kind of team, and this is an interesting ride. I have only heard his newest stuff. So I've heard Superman and I've heard Stronger Version. That is it. So, at everyone's request, this has been the most requested Tom MacDonald song. No paid donation or anything here, but this is just the one that keeps coming up. And so we're going to do it. If you do have a song that you would like me to react to, and you want to make sure that it actually happens in a reasonable amount of time, because the list is only getting longer when it comes to comments, there is a link right below my head that says buy me a coffee. You can go to that link and you can donate an amount of your choosing and request a song that you want. We can work something out. There's no fixed price for a request. So would love y'all to use that link if you do have a specific thing you'd like to do. But I do read the comments. I read every single comment on the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, this song looks like came out last year, 2022, although this is almost the end of the year 2023, so it's about to be 2 years old. The song's called The System. I don't know anything about it. Like I said, I don't even know what genre it is because apparently his most recent stuff is not what he is known for, and he is known for doing rap music. I Oh, you know what? I don't need to have the copyright filter up. Someone told me that they do not do copyright strikes, so I hope not. I'm going to take your word for it. Let's do this. We got a 3 minute, little over 3 minute song. Nice change of pace from all the crazy long prog songs from Opeth we've been doing. All right, let's get this. Tom MacDonald, The System. Here we go.
Welcome to the world, baby boy. I'll paint you red and white and blue. The indoctrination starts as soon as you come out the womb. Pretty quick, we'll make you stupid with curriculums at school. And if the classroom doesn't do the trick, we'll make you watch the news. Pick your team, right or left, take the red pill or the blue. You can vote, but even if you win, still everyone will lose. Don't forget to buy designer because Gucci makes you cool. We prioritize material belongings over truth. Get a job that you can't stand so you can buy some cans of food. Go overseas.
Okay, so we may have to pause this one a few times. Yeah, wow. Absolutely spot on so far. We've got a lot of propaganda in this country. You know, Lou Rockwell, the great Lou Rockwell, he calls the media the fourth branch of the government in the United States. And I definitely agree with that. It's, you're being shown things for a reason. People have agendas, like, human beings have agendas, and then you give some of those human beings who are fallible, flawed, subject to being pulled different directions to try to gain power, right? You give some of those people nigh unlimited power. You're talking about the president of the United States, doesn't matter what party they're in. You're talking about Congress, these people who are multi-millionaires, sometimes multi millionaires, and they don't make that much money, right? Like you get a salary as a congressman, but it's not enough to be like a $25 million net worth individual. So how do they get all this money? You know what I'm saying? I don't have any problem with people having money. I don't have any problem with that. I consider myself a capitalist, right? But capitalism is not it's not shifting all authority in the entire United States and the outlying islands and all these other things into the federal government and saying, oh, yes, please, executive, tell us what to do. That's actually called fascism. everything within the state, nothing outside the state. Like that's a quote from Mussolini, and that's how we behave here. In the well, I should not say we. So that's a thing that I find myself doing all the time, and because I've read Murray Rothbard, the greatest economist ever, I should know better, right? You don't say we when you're talking about the United States. You're not the United States. The United States is, a shorthand reference. It's an idea. It's not really a thing. It's just a set of ideas. And if you believe in it and you associate your identity with the United States and you use the word we to describe something that isn't even real, then you're kind of in the trap, right? And I catch myself doing that all the time. It's just a shorthand. Everybody does it. Hear it on the news all the time. Not that I watch the news anymore, but gosh, this may be a really long video, y'all. There's a lot in here. um, yeah, told kind of what makes you cool, what you should do with your life. Get a job, go through the steps. Follow our playbook, and you're going to be successful, and you'll retire with millions of dollars, etc., etc., etc. It's all lies. And you'll encounter people in your life that are partway there. They're a little bit broken out of the system. They kind of know, hey, maybe public education is just a way to train kids to be the way that other people want them to be. But then they're totally lockstep on other issues, right? My specific area is finance. I have a book. It's behind me over here. It's not really in camera, it looks like, but I wrote a book. I'll link to it below. It's called Between the Lies: How to Reclaim Your Future from the Banks and Wall Street. It is unconventional financial advice that will make sure that your finances actually are improving all of the time, and it will put you in a really, really good position if you follow kind of what I lay out in the book. It's not complicated, but that's my thing. Like that's my thing. I'm into econ, history, and finance. And so, people seem to be hungry for the message in my book. It's because they're being lied to. It's why the title of my book is Between the Lies, because there's lies. It's a lot of them, and you need to find your way through. But guess what? My book does not talk about putting your money in tax-qualified retirement accounts. Because guess what? The government creates the problems and then they give you the solution. The solution they're giving you is probably not the one you want, right? When they're controlling the problem and solution, it's probably not what you need to be doing. I could talk about that, just that, for an hour. So I won't. If you're interested in that, I'm going to back off and we'll listen to music. But if you're interested in that stuff, please, look in the description below. You'll find a link to my book and our website and all that. Okay, I need to get back into this. We're starting over. Let's go to the beginning.
Welcome to the world, baby boy. I'll paint you red and white and blue. The indoctrination starts as soon as you come out the womb. Pretty quick, we'll make you stupid with curriculums at school. And if the classroom doesn't do the trick, we'll make you watch the news. Pick your team, right or left, take the red pill or the blue. You can vote, but even if you win, still everyone will lose. Don't forget to buy designer because Gucci makes you cool. We prioritize material belongings over truth. Get a job that you can't stand so you can buy some cans of food. Go overseas and die for freedom. There's some oil we could use. Our democracy exists so that you think that you can choose. But our algorithms make you do what we want you to do. What's the problem? Your depressed society has you confused. We got medication for you that you'll probably abuse. Go get married to a lady who...
Okay, so now we're getting into medication, antidepressants, things like that. Not to say that it's just antidepressants, but this kind of idea that everything is solvable with a pill. Oh, you don't feel totally perfect all the time? Here, take this twice a day with a cup of water, right? Like that's going to solve something. I'm very much at the mindset that change comes from within. If you want to fix some things, like, you can't just expect some doctor to figure things out in your life for you. I'm not saying that doctors are not helpful. I'm not saying that everyone in the medical field is wrong. I'm not saying that. Okay, if I have a broken arm, I'm going to go to an ER and I'm going to get my bone set or whatever, right? It's not that there's no purpose, but a lot of allopathic medicine, a lot of what's being told to you is just, it's kind of like a, well, this is sort of what we do in this sort of scenario, and I hope it works for you. If you're familiar with the idea of a number needed to treat, that's a known quantity for different drugs. It it's like, okay, the number needed to treat is 10. That means out of 10 people who take a drug, one will actually have a beneficial effect from it. It'll actually solve the problem it's setting out to solve. So that's not that great of a ratio, if we're being honest, right? And who knows what else that medication might do to you, side effect wise. Um, I have been in a position where I was in a job that I hate. Hey, guess what? That's in the song too. I had a job that I really didn't like, and so I was doing auto insurance claims. Claims adjusters are overworked and their lives are miserable, and that's universally true. I never spoke to a single person in claims who was happy. So just so you know, if you have a car wreck and you have to deal with a claims person, just give them a break, because that's like the worst job in the world. It's an exaggeration, but it's pretty bad. And that job made me sick. I felt sick all the time. I would go sit in my car to eat lunch, and I was miserable. And it's not that I could necessarily say that it was making me sick until later, because as soon as I quit, man, I felt great. Right? It resolved physical symptoms, but they were from a psychological source. And so you can't just say, well, my stomach hurts. Here, take this. Well, at best, you're suppressing symptoms, but you haven't figured out what the problem was, right? So, holistic medicine, another just, I have a feeling this song is going to be wall to wall, all 3 minutes. It's going to be nothing but huge, huge rabbit holes. So if y'all are into that stuff, I mean, who knows? Maybe we need to do a hour and a half long video. But for now, I'll just say he's on the right track. This is great. It's great. Back it up a bit.
You think that you can choose, but our algorithms make you do what we want you to do. What's the problem? You're depressed, society has you confused. We got medication for you that you'll probably abuse. Go get married to a lady who also don't have a clue, and pump out a few babies that are just the same as you. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the world, baby girl. I'll paint you pink if that's okay. We'll encourage self-destruction through the music that you play. We divided all the men by trying politics and race, and honestly, it's working awesome, so for you, we'll do the same. Never teaching you to love yourself, inject you full of hate. Objectify your sexuality, then blame you for the rape. And weaponize the differences that make our men and women great. Then just to screw with you, erase the genders. Everyone's the same. We'll empower you with rights to vote and fight for equal pay. Then have the men turn into women and you'll fight for them again. But you thought you had it figured out, but everything has changed. Welcome to the system. Please enjoy your stay. Here's a Bible and a bottle of the cheapest booze we make. Find a man who can take care of you to fill the holes we made. Buy a house and settle down, fulfill your duty, procreate, and make a couple babies who will also do the same. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim.
I do want to stop it and talk about the violence is a symptom idea just for just a second. 100% agree, right? This is great. This song is great. Unless something goes seriously wrong in the last half here. It's awesome, okay? The violence is a symptom thing, right? If you are not living in alignment, if you have, what you believe are morals, and everything in your life do not adhere in any way to those morals, you have certain idea of what the good is and the bad, and let's say that all the bad things are rewarded and all the good things are punished, and maybe that's an accurate description of the world, then it creates this dissonance, to use a sonic term, but it creates a dissonant feeling, creates a tension that isn't resolvable because reality doesn't match. what's going on and what you think should be going on, right? You build a mental picture of how things are, how things should be, where you're going, what you want, and why. And you have emotional responses that are attached to those things. You have emotional impulses that are latched onto those things, those goals, and what have you. And then if reality doesn't match that, what your brain will automatically do is try to make those things line up. So if the entire system is rewarding the wrong things, what are your choices? It's either do the wrong things, right? Get into this weird stuff that you wouldn't normally do because you consider it amoral, and then therefore your mental image and reality will match, and then you'll be a nice docile member of the system, right? Or you perpetuate, trying to resolve things, and you can't make progress resolving them. You're trying to bring reality into this moral dimension that it isn't, and that can be very, very challenging. That can lead to kind of violent responses. Really, both can lead to violent responses, because there's a certain level at which morality isn't changeable, you know. Um, yeah, a lot there. But cornered animals respond violently, right? Human beings are animals. I don't mean that in a we don't have a consciousness, we don't have a soul or a spirit or what have you. I just mean that in like fundamentally we're flesh and bone, and you can only be pushed to a certain point, right? All right, let's go.
And make a couple babies who will also do the same. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the world, everybody. I'ma paint you black and white. I'ma make you hate each other so that everyone will fight. I'ma give you our religion, let the righteous find the light. But I will also give you science to oppose the word of Christ. And I'ma give you borders, they're imaginary lines. If you cross them, go to war and win when everybody dies. And I'ma give you money that you'll value more than life. And let the 1% have everything while you fight to survive. And then I'll give you politics, I'll call it left and right. And while you divide yourselves, I will conquer both the sides. Can't you see? I'm the system, my whole purpose is divide. What you choose will never matter because everything is mine. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong.
I was told not to stop the video early on one of the last ones. They're like, if you watch the whole thing, you would have seen this, and so I didn't stop it early. Okay, I let it go all the way to the end. Um, wow, yeah. He even went into the spirituality versus science thing. That is maybe the longest conversation we could possibly have on the channel, so I will keep it abridged because it's a 3-minute song and I don't want to make it a 3.5 hour video. No one will watch that. Maybe I'll do a separate one later, but science and religion, like there's so many layers and nuances to that discussion. It's not that science is anti-religion and religion is anti-science, although that is sometimes how it's portrayed in the media, right? You have these backwards people telling their children to follow what's in a religious text instead of believing in science. We've had this whole believing in science phrase enter the common lexicon in recent years due to an event in 2020. Won't go into that. But it's not a fair it's not a fair dichotomy, right? And that's the whole game. That's the whole way that all of this works if we're talking about the system. It's it's creating false dichotomies. Do you think that we should have a 10% income tax on this bracket or a 14% income tax on this bracket? It's not, is income tax morally allowable, or what have you. There's no discussion of the thing, the big idea, the concept. There's no nuance, there's no debate. It's for show. There's gonna be taxes on this bracket. Who cares if it's slightly higher or slightly lower? It doesn't even affect most people in a huge way, right? A lot of people get tax refunds. They don't pay taxes. I've got a huge tax bill that I'm going to have to pay this next year. And, okay. But I don't feel good about it. So, mm, yeah, a lot there. This is probably my favorite musically of the three songs as well. It's a message, but it's also kind of got a lot of texture to the sound. I just noticed the vocal doubling, or even tripling, it might have been at the end. So it's not just his voice, it's his voice kind of stacked on top of itself. Crazy. Good video, too. Sure, that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. I'm sure that's one of the reasons he has really blown up in popularity and stuff, right? Because it's controversial, and, the colored contacts and all that stuff. But, I mean, it's clear if you pay attention what's going on there. He's personifying this horrible negative thing, the system. It's to me that's not really controversial. But I do disagree with most people on most subjects, so there is that. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I can see why so many people were suggesting this one. Thank you all for the suggestions. Again, if you have a specific song, if you want to make sure I actually get to it, and it's not just the luck of the draw, more or less, then please use the Buy Me a Coffee link below, and we'll see what we can do. Till next time, y'all, the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. Merry Christmas, or whatever it is you celebrate. Spend time with family. I'll see y'all soon.